Hello, dear colleagues, dear guests of our event. Today we are opening a special unique space to talk about leadership in ICF. My name is Alina Svetnenko. I am executive coach with MCC ICF. I'm president of ICF Ukraine chapter. My leadership journey in ICF Ukraine ends in 1 month, and ICF Ukraine board team started a campaign to form a new board for the next 2 years. I really want to show ICF members a big world of coaching. I want to show a big world of leadership in the global community ICF. In this way, potential ICF Ukrainian leaders will understand the benefits of leadership in ICF and make a responsible decision to become a part of global leadership community ICF. I want to say that when we announced the event, I was amazed by the response among colleagues from different countries. So thank you for your interest. Today we will share the unique experience of ICF leaders from Israel, Azerbaijan, Hungary, and Ukraine. Please write right now in the chat what country are you from and what chapter are you from. In this way, we will understand the geography of our event. Dear colleagues, I was pleased to invite my colleagues to share their own experience of leadership in the ICF. I'm sure that the event will be useful for every ICF leader. Why? Right now, we are going to speak about how was leadership experience for us personally. What are the challenges of promotion coaching in our countries? So we are going to discover coaching in 4 countries during 1 hour. What challenges did we personally overcome with the team and what helped us achieve our goals? And of course, we are going to give some recommendation for the future ICF leaders. Before we start, I really want to ask everyone who are with us to leave your insights and comments in the chat during and after speaker speeches. As coaches, we really understand how important feedback, and of course, we would like to feel your presence and support today. So, we are going to start exploring coaching in Israel with the first speaker, and I'm really happy to introduce my lovely friend, Shiri. Shiri is the president of ICF Israel. She is founder of Medical Coaching Institute. Shiri, I'm really, really happy to have you here, and the floor is yours right now.
Oh, thank you. So first of all, I have to say I am the former co-president. We ended our presidency about a month ago, and what can I say? There's our journey has been, I'm going to, talk for myself, but I think I'm also going to echo the voice of my co-president, has been very turbulent and extremely painful, extremely painful. I think, that there was a journey that was happening on many levels. On a national level, we went through a horrific event that included massacre and a war broke. And the first thing was to understand what is the role of coaching. What we have were a lot of coaches that immediately wanted to get out there and support and give help. And I think one of the roles as leaders were to say, hold on, we need to remember the core competencies here. We need to remember the ethical guidelines. If you are not previously trained in the field of grief work and trauma work, don't go near it. Even though what you want to do is immediately go and help someone, we need to be very, very firm about this. And then ask, okay, so what does coaching offer? And it was a discussion. I think that the first thing we did was say, okay, we are ICF, we're not just coaches, and turn to the organization. I I think ICF Global has a lot to learn, and we're leading an initiative which Alina is taking part in really creating some kind of a guidelines for this organization. How do you function? How do you help leaders in times of collective trauma? Because I think that ICF didn't really know what to do with us. I don't think they really know what to do with the Ukraine as well. But it's time to step up. So we kind of turned around to the organization, and it took them time to get back to us. So on a national level, it was okay. What can we do? What are the ethical guidelines? As time went by, we are a year into the war. The question is, okay, what is the impact of the war and collective trauma on coaching? How does the coaching space change? Does it change? We're going into this new normal. What does that say about coaching? What does that say about identity as coaches? What does that say about the identity of our clients? What is happening to the coaching space when both client and coach are both affected by the same events? So there's a need for leadership to say, hey, this is not just a conversation between a few coaches. Actually, we need to sit down as a community, as a professional community, and think about this and have a discussion. And that's the job of leadership in this time. And the other aspect was we had members that were affected. We had members that lost families. We have a coach whose daughter has been kidnapped and she's in Gaza. I have coaches that were massacred, raped, and tortured. How do we as leaders support the members of our chapter? What do they need? How do we show up for them? How do we show up for each other as a chapter? That's up to the leadership to lead that. And you don't know how to do it until you're there. So, for us in Israel, approaching the Ukrainian chapter with Alina and her team, that was a huge relief for us. We found a friendly voice. That was the embodiment of ICF values, coaches coming together beyond circumstances, seeing each other as human beings. And that restored a lot of my faith, because from a lot of other colleagues in other countries, the reaction was completely different. I was absolutely heartbroken and devastated to understand that there's anti-Semitism within the organization that I love, that I was being shunned because I was Jewish, because I was Israeli. I never, ever thought I would get responses like that from fellow leaders, but I did. And our experience with the leadership of ICF Ukraine was a healing experience, but it was also an educational one. And because, we used to joke about them and say, you are like a year and a half ahead of where we're going to be. It was a very sad joke, but they had knowledge that we were missing. And it was kind of a mentorship, which I think, now we can offer another country, and please God, there's never, ever another country that's going to be in that condition. But I think one of the things that maybe make the Israeli experience unique is the fact that we did not get an international embrace or international empathy. Actually, it brought up a lot of bias, a lot of anti-Semitism. Being Israeli automatically meant that you're Jewish, and all of that got mixed up. And one of the first things that we did as leaders was actually try to approach our neighboring countries and say, hey, let's come together as coaches. Let's create some sanity. And the reaction that we got from most of the neighboring countries that we approached was disappointing. The polite ones actually declined. The less polite ones ignored us. And I actually, from one of the neighboring countries, that I approached to say, hey, we're coaches. We're better than this. Let's talk. Let's share. How do we support our people? I actually got a personal complaint. I think that I really love this opportunity, because I think that we need to rise above the personal journeys. Like, I'm sharing my personal journey with you. It's been life-altering for me. I think that the coaching in every country that goes through a state of war changes. The coaches change and the coaching space changes. I think there's a lot we can learn from that. I think this means that there is an invitation for coaches to really go deep into the field of resilience and transformation and emotions. As the world is getting a more and more chaotic place, I think this invitation is being extended even into countries that are not going through war. But I am a real believer in coaching leadership. And I love this initiative because I think that, we need to take our personal journeys and create something collective out of it and really talk about what it means to be a coaching leader, a leader in ICF. What does that mean? Is it different than just being a member? What does that say? What does that say when everything is nice and easy? What does that say when the reality kind of flips and turns upside down? What does it mean? And I think that leadership isn't just measured in times of routine when everything is lovely, but leadership is also measured in times of disruption, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's climate, whether it's war. I can say that as a leader, I have been completely transformed during this time. And I think my chapter as well. I think that happens to every chapter that exists in a geopolitical location that is turbulent and goes through war. So I hope that I was coherent because my thoughts were all over the place.
I just want to hug you, really. Yes, I'm sending virtual hugs, and I would like to ask what benefits your members received from your site, or what did you bring with your board to ICF Israel members, and what initiatives, what projects did you provide for society? What can you share?
So I think the first thing that our members needed, the silence from ICF Global was deafening. It took them time. I think that the first thing that they needed for us was to see that we're fighting for them, that we're saying, to the organization, hey guys, you need to do better. So I think that was the first thing we did, was really, tell our members, guys, we are speaking on your behalf with the organization. That was one thing on one level. On the other level, what we started doing was really a check-in with the members. Okay, first of all, inside, do you need support? What do you need from us? How is your coaching business going? And one thing that we learned was that we actually needed to approach ICF Global and say, guys, can you forfeit membership fees for a year? That really helped, our members breathe a little bit. So kind of addressing, saying, what do you need right now in terms of, your practice? And then we learned that there is a need for tools. So we approached people around the world. So we have a member of our organization. Her name is Dr. Kati Lawi. She's a PCC, amazing woman. She created emotional aid. By the way, highly recommend that you bring it to your chapter. Amazing woman, okay? We brought that. Because I also come from the field of trauma, I immediately did, again, another webinar, emotional first aid intervention. How do you do, regulation with your clients, with yourself? And then we brought a workshop, a 5-session workshop with Dawn Eisenhower, who's a grief coach, MCC. A little bit about how do you process grief? How do you hold your head up, when there's so much grief? So that's the thing that we did to our members. And then we said, okay, there were a lot of initiatives, a lot of people coming and saying, okay, we need to support the community. We said, yes, but let us give you the ethical guidelines, okay? So we sat down, we reviewed the ethical guidelines. We said, this is within the coaching scope. This is outside the coaching scope. This is what you can do. And then we started creating these initiatives, okay? And also collaborating with other national initiatives on support groups, and just, giving people support in help centers and over the phone coaching and stuff like that. And then what we understood was that, so a few months went by and we approached the members again and said, okay, so what do you need now? And two things came up. One was the need for more tools to deal with emotional disruptions in the coaching space. That was coming up a lot. Okay, so people were bringing their pain into the space, a lot of crying, and coaches were saying, listen, I need more tools. We start bringing webinars, you know, approaching again coaches around the world, talking about resilience, neuroscience of emotions, stuff like that, bringing more and more webinars. The request that came up was, okay, how do I navigate financially? What do I do with social media? How do I find clients? You know, I need to run a business. I'm living off this. So we brought some content around that. And we gradually, very carefully started creating these, you know, projects going out into the community. Since, you know, after we created those ethical guidelines, it was clear that it is not our place as an organization to get involved with initiatives that do trauma support. Okay, even though we have members in the chapter, I'm one of them that have previous training in trauma. As a chapter, we can't do that. Okay, so then what we decided to do was maintain the coaching. We identified different kinds of populations that were a little bit more challenged right now. Okay, mostly because of the stress, needed more, you know, coaching around resilience, but also needed coaching around kind of creating a new normal. And those were the ones we focused on. One initiative was really supporting young adults that were leaving the Jewish Orthodox world and becoming secular. So this was a project we said, okay, these people need support even without the context of war. Let's give them support. Everybody's focusing on, you know, on veterans, on soldiers, on wounded, on the dead, you know, stuff like that. Let us focus on the people that are kind of neglected, you know, in the midst of all this big drama. And that's what we've been doing. And another thing that we're doing, we started sending more and more newsletters and being more active on the Facebook group, just kind of signaling to our members, hey, we're here, we're here, we're here, okay? This is what we have for you. What do you want? Talk to us, talk to us, talk to us. And I think that restored a lot of the faith that our members kind of lost during those first 2 months in the organizations. We were really afraid of losing members, and I think that's how we did kind of, you know, membership retention. And a lot of phone calls, by the way, kind of calling people, are you okay? What do you need? Are you okay? Do you need to talk to someone?
Yeah, we did the same. Yeah, I understand you. Thanks for your sharing, and I know that you need to go because of your training. And the last question, your recommendation for the future leaders, ICF.
Well, I think the first recommendation I would have was don't reinvent the wheel, okay? Look around you. There are leaders and chapters that have been there before. Ask to be mentored, even if you're not getting it through the organization. Because again, I think ICF Global as an organization, they still have a lot of system to you know, implement and put in, and they have their own learning curve. But take the initiative. Don't wait for ICF Global. Approach them first of all, but approach the Ukrainian chapter, approach the Israeli chapter, approach a chapter in Armenia, in Azerbaijan, any other country, okay, that have been in a similar condition, similar situation. Ask to be mentored. Ask them, what worked for you? What do you do? Don't, it feels so alone, and it's not, okay? So first thing, don't reinvent the wheel. And number two, you're not alone. Remind yourself that you're actually not alone, even though you're going to feel so lonely. And number three, self-care. You're a leader. Take care of yourself, because there are a lot of people that depend on the fact that you remain a leader. So find ways to give yourself that emotional first aid. Find ways to self-care. Find ways to regulate your nervous system. If you need help, ask for it. But remember that you are carrying a lot on your shoulders, so you can't break, okay? So self-care is absolutely critical. So like these three advices I would give.
Yeah, thank you. I am sure that it's very useful. Thanks, my dear, and yeah, I wish you all the best on your training today, and hope to see you soon again, yeah, in our yes project. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to go nurture another cohort of amazing medical coaches. So I'm sorry I won't be here with you, but I will listen to the recording because I think
yeah, I will send, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Take really good care of yourself, guys. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we are going to discover coaching world in Azerbaijan. And I'm happy to introduce my good friend, Ilham Musayev. We met each other very important in ICF Global Community event. It was personal forum in Greece last May. And I opened your person. I opened your coaching approach. I opened you as the first president of ICF Azerbaijan, and I know a lot of difficulties that you faced during opening chapter in also not difficult, also easy, not easy environment. So I would like to ask you to share your experience and to bring your thoughts to our space.
Thank you very much, Alina, and good evening, dear colleagues. Great to see you here. As a typical coach would say, I just want to ask a question. I can see some smile on your faces and some kind of some of you with emotions, some of you without. Just wanted to test for what is it there, just to bring some energy back to the room. I know that you're all deeply listening, so thank you for being here today. So I think for me, I'll start. I just got the kind of questions from Alina. I just structured them. So I'm a project management guy, so I just structured everything in a way that just goes through them. And in order to keep the timing and right to the point, I just want to go through my thoughts, which I kind of captured. So the first questions was how it was for you personally. I think for us, so I am a co-founder and then the first president of our chapter. And it took us about 2 years to start it, to run it. And then there were some things going on. And finally last year, I was kind of elected as a member of initiative group. And together with my other 2 colleagues, we finally got things running in the right direction and got the right support from ICF Global. But I think one important lesson from what we've gone through before we set up the chapter was that it's all about everyone to be on the same wave and having the same vision. If you don't have the same vision, if you're not aligned, if you're not moving in the same direction, then you're not going to get anything at the end of the day. So make sure that you are aligned and you are on the same waves and you do things, whatever makes sense for all of you, not just for part of you. I think that was the main lesson from our chapter being set up. It took us for two plus years to bring it to the life. So first question Alina posed for us was how it was for you personally. As I said, I just summarized it just to stay right to the point. So first of all, it was a very eye-opening and worldview broadening experience. I have learned a lot, and at the same time, I transformed into a better version of myself because it kind of was situations and then the conversations we had, it just pushes you towards making sure you're neutral, you are objective to people. So it just keeps transferring, making those transformations. But however, this journey is for all of us who wanted to bring the professional coaching to the country. So the process helped us to united coaches around the common goals and visions. A very special mission to be part of. So we finally felt it that we are all moving in the same direction and we have the same vision. And that was the reason why we had a success on setting up the chapter in our country. So 19th October was a day when we were officially, the official ceremony of opening the chapter. And I am already, for the last 10 days, I'm already a past president of the country. So it's just my mission is just being accomplished, and we hand it over to the new team. So that was the first part of the question, how it was for me personally. It's just the transformation. I learned a lot and I transformed a lot. Maybe I'm not feeling it, but looking back towards those years, I can see it. So be patient. Whatever you do, be patient and not take the decisions immediately. I think that's another huge lesson for me. Sometimes you rush into the decisions, don't do it. Let the process, let the emotions cool down, and then see what type of decisions you can take. You will be amazed that you just saved yourself from another failure. Just believe me. Okay, second question posed by Elena, what are the challenges of promoting coaching in your country? Very important and at the same time very tricky question, because we had those situations, and that was another reason why we couldn't establish a chapter for many years. So professional coaching is a relatively new profession and area in our country. And not many people and organizations understand its value. So remember about the value of professional coaching. When you talk about it, just shows the value. And especially the difference from other fields like mentoring, therapy, and working with psychologists. People mix it. Still now, people mix it. So be distinct, be straightforward, and shows a difference. What is professional coaching doing towards versus other areas? Additionally, there are not so many professional accredited coaches. So we just start getting those now, but we didn't have them before. And that was another reason why we couldn't show the real value of professional coaching. And I will give you a kind of an example from marketing, that people buy your product when you get the true value and know how it will serve you in the future. The same with the coaching. There are not a lot, therefore there are lots of needs to be done to bring the coaching to the level when people understand the value and they want to stick to it. Currently, we are in a much better position in comparison where we started, and we have seen a lot of, but at the same time, we have seen a lot of examples, so be aware of it as well. When people abusing the name of professional coach, PCC, ACC, MCC, and just putting in front of their names while they're not even there. They haven't gone through ICF education, they don't know what is PCC means, they just use it. So one of the mission is to make sure you are it's like health checking if everything what you say is right, because sometimes people just using the name of coaches and they're doing their own business, and there's nothing to do with professional coaching at all. So if I will move to the next point, what challenges did you personally overcome with the team, and what helped you to achieve your goals? I think the first thing was to unite people around the common goals and visions. It's very important when people know that what is a mission, what is a vision, how we're connected, and why we're doing it. And maybe what I would recommend to do looking back is maybe once per month, going to the agile world and doing the retrospectives, like what we've done good, what we can change, what worked well, what worked wrong. It will help you to adjust the directions and take the right one. So absolutely ask those questions to yourself. Then it is about staying absolutely neutral and not taking any sides. Very important. Just kind of coming back to the point. It's like when you're coaching, just be very neutral. Don't judge, don't assume, don't provide anything, but stay neutral, because that will help you to be on the right direction. Another thing, it's also about showing coaches that this specific mission is not about us individually. Very important point. People sometimes forget about it. It is about us purposefully connected around the common vision and investing a lot of personal time to build something meaningful which will serve the entire community and help us thrive. So it is about going miles and miles to unlock the true potential. So be patient and make sure people are like urged. It's not about us individually. What I've seen personally, at some point of time, people forget why we're united and they come back to it's like treat this as a personal. It's not going to work. If people not connected to the point of why chapter runs, there will be a problem. So make sure it's all under control. Next point was what results of your work as a leader you are most proud of. I think there are lots of things I can mention, but I can kind of summarize it again. So first of all, we have established first ever chapter in our country after many years of attempts. And finally, there was a community of people who, without any other attachments, wanted to promote professional coaching in the country. And that was the reason why ICF approved it, because for many years, ICF was not they didn't have an evidence that we are there to become a chapter. So I think that's something which needs to be obvious from your side as well. Just keep kind of showing it, and that will attract more people. We developed bylaws and got this document endorsed. And it was the latest version of the bylaws, because after we've done it, ICF asked all other chapters to build it to those same standards. So we developed it within 6 months of time. We translated it to our local language, and we start using it. So for ICF, it was like amazing period of time, like a very short period of time when we translated it. We made sure that it complies with our local legislation, and we then start using it. So ICF was impressed by that because it was a very short period of time. We started in July, and by September it was approved and endorsed and accepted. So there was a lot of personal time invested to bring it to the life. I think another important thing which needs to be, sometimes it's forgotten, but it needs to be kept in mind, that we made it clear what professional in front of world coaching means and became an ambassadors of that mission. Because people talk about the coaching, but they forgot to say that it's a professional coaching. A coaching could be, it's not generic. You know, in our case, it's a professional coaching. So we need to show the value and power and impact of professional coaching versus just the coaching. Just the coaching you can get from the courses in Udemy and somewhere else, but professional coaching, and you know very well, is something different. So don't forget about the point. For the last 12 months, we have signed 3 strong MOUs with reputable organizations. I think for chapter, which is just created, within first 2 months, we had 2 big MOUs with organizations where people kind of try to get like years and years. And at the month 7, we've got another big MOU signed, and that made us visible in the community, start attracting people. We have applied to Ministry of Justice for registration and continuously giving context of professional coaching there. So if you have an opportunity in a government organization or somewhere else, just talk about professional coaches and coaching and how it changes, it makes an impact, because sometimes there are some blind spots and people not aware of, and you can spark that light of kind of getting those blind spots kind of fixed. We worked on our strategy. We kind of got it used, kind of applied. So that was something new for us. And most importantly, we had delivered a pro bono coaching to the leadership staff of Educational Development Fund. We had an MOU and shows them the true value and power of professional coaching. For organizations like Educational Development Fund, it was a real gift because they didn't know what is coaching about. They thought it's something mixed with mentoring. And when their staff went through it, some of them, and I will be honest here, some of them even asked the questions, am I at the right place? Should I be running a business, or should I be in education organizational, in office environment doing, because people start seeing their personal value. Like, it's not about us doing something on a daily basis. It's about us enjoying the life. If we understand what is This is how coaching can change the lives. And 3 to 5 advices on how to help the future leaders in Ukraine, as Alina mentioned. So you all have to be on the same waves and live upon the same vision. I think that's very important. If that's not there, there will be lots of frictions and then the questions and so on. So just kind of something to keep focusing from time to time. It's not about you personally, it's about doing together whatever is necessary to keep the profession alive and adding value to the wider society. So that message should be consistently there, because people forget that it's about the community, it's about the vision, and they sometimes switch to personal mode. It's very important. The next one is being proud of what you do and enjoy the process. I think that's very important. If you're not proud of what you're doing and what the impact you bring, you will not be getting there eventually. So, and also you are much bigger by what you do than you imagine. So think globally and act locally. That's very important. Be proud of yourself, celebrate small wins, and show the world that how small things can make a huge impact. Very important. Continuously keep educating coaches about what professional coaching about and help them mature, shift their mindset toward appreciating every piece of voluntary contribution. Sometimes we forgot that we are here and we're consuming our personal time. So appreciating voluntary contributions is very important. It can shift the world towards the better things, but it needs to be appreciated. If it's not appreciated, sometimes it turns into frustrations. So that's all about what I wanted to say. And at the very last, I just want to bring you some context and live with it, because, and it's from personal agility training I run. It's a separate thing, but it involves the elements of coaching. It just poses a question and it prompts you to think differently, which is, I think, would be helpful at the end of the day. It's very short, so I'm not going into details, but it will help you to look at the things what you are doing and you are going to do a bit from different paradigms. So who you are is a reflection of what you do. And the decisions you make about what to do reflect what really matters to you. They also reveal your course or lack of one, okay? So if what you do isn't helping you to become the person or community you want to be, or accomplish what you want to accomplish, then something that really matters isn't getting enough attention. So it's very important to ask that question, what really matters, because if you are not sticking to what really matters to you, then what you're doing is just a waste of time. So by adjusting your priorities, by doing things that matter, you can change your course to become the community you want to be and accomplish the things that are important to you. And with that, I want to thank you and being patient with me. And hopefully, if anything, you can reach out at any time, and I'm happy to be there and help you to be a sounding board. Thank you.
Thanks, Ilham. It was really useful for me personally. I'm definitely sure that colleagues will receive a lot of insights from your experience, and they will use it in their future leadership journey. And my personal approach also think globally and act locally. And it's about global community and what we are doing. Yes, and okay, we are creating local markets, but we are sharing this global experience, and we are developing and improving coaching in all the world. So it's our global leadership journey. Thank you. Thank you. And now we are going to Hungary, and Anett, she is having her own vacation with family, and she sent a video, and we are going to start this video right now.
Dear Alina, dear colleagues and members of ICF Ukraine, thank you so much for inviting me to share my leadership journey with you. And I sincerely regret that I won't be able to attend the meeting in person, I mean virtually in person, but I will be on holiday with my family during this meeting. I would like to take this opportunity to send you all my warmest regards and record my thoughts in advance, as I feel it's important to support such an inspiring initiative. Leading ICF Hungary from 2018 to 2022 was a really transformative experience for me. I can say both professionally and personally as well. And I very well understand how challenging leadership can be, especially in difficult circumstances such as the ones Alina has faced in Ukraine. But I believe that despite these challenges, leadership in ICF has also been incredibly rewarding and has provided me with the chance to be part of a global coaching community which is dedicated to promoting the power of coaching. In this video, I will share some of the key lessons I learned as part of the ICF Hungary Board, the challenges we faced in promoting coaching in Hungary, and also the accomplishments I'm most proud of, and I can say that our board is most proud of, and my advice for the future leaders. And I hope that my experience will inspire and support the next generation of ICF leaders in Ukraine, as I believe you will continue the important work of expanding the influence of coaching in your country, even unfortunately during these difficult times. So first, let me begin by reflecting how this journey was for me personally. My time as president of ICF Hungary was incredibly rewarding, as I mentioned before, not just professionally, but personally as well. One of the most fulfilling aspects was being part of a community of like-minded individuals who were just as committed to our shared goals as I was. Working alongside fellow board members who dedicated their time and energy to support the organization, I can say that it was really a humbling experience. I felt a deep sense of connections and pride in the team's dedications to elevating the coaching profession in Hungary. However, of course, the role was also challenging, balancing the demands of leading a national chapter with my own coaching business. It required for me a significant time management and prioritization. I can honestly say that there were moments when the commitment felt really overwhelming, especially as we pushed toward with ambitious projects. But at the same time, I felt fortunate to work with a team that shared the workload and supported each other through difficult moments as well. And right now, seeing the impact of our work and the growth of the coaching community in Hungary, I can really feel that it made all worthwhile. And despite the challenges, the experience strengthened my leadership skills and expanded my network within the international coaching community a lot. The second question was from Alina, that what were the challenges of promoting coaching in our country, in Hungary? You might share the same challenge, because one of the biggest challenges we faced in promoting coaching in Hungary was the devaluation of the coaching profession. Many people were calling themselves coaching and are still calling themselves coaches without having the proper training or credentials or experience, which of course led to confusion in the market. And this made it difficult for clients and organizations to make this thing and to distinguish between certified professional coaches and those who lack the necessary expertise and experience. So to combat this, we made it a priority for us to educate the market on how to identify high-quality coaches. We launched an educational campaign focused on the importance of ICF credentials, emphasizing high standards that ICF coaches must meet. We partnered with HR Fest, which is the largest HR organization in Hungary. And we organized our own, we called it HR Brand Conference, which gave us a platform to explain the value of professional certification and to show HR professionals how to choose the professional coaches. The third question, what challenges did I personally overcome with my team and what helped us to achieve our goals? I think succession planning was one of the key challenges we faced during my time as a president. Ensuring that there are capable leaders ready to step into board position, it is critical, but it is not always easy. Who will take over the leadership roles and how do we ensure continuity? These are difficult questions. This is why I believe that having a well-structured succession plan, it is essential. We placed a strong emphasis on building teams around each board member so that when the time came for leadership transitions, there were individuals who were already familiar with the work and ready to step up. And it was also important to have flexibility in our chapter bylaws to allow coaches to easily join the leadership team when it was necessary. By fostering this kind of pipeline and providing opportunities for engagement, we ensured that the chapter could continue operating smoothly even when leadership roles changed. And I think this approach allowed us to maintain momentum and continuity, ensuring that the new leaders had the support they needed to succeed in their positions. So this was, I think, the biggest challenge what I personally overcame with my team. So let's move on to the fourth questions. What results of my work as a leader I am most proud of? It's a great question. I really like this one. So one of the most significant achievements of my presidency was setting a clear and ambitious goal for the chapter, which was winning the Chapter Recognition Award. This was a KPI that I set for the team when I took on the president role. We thoroughly, of course, examined what it would take to achieve this, and then we systematically worked toward meeting every criteria. And I'm incredibly proud to say that in my second year as president, we achieved this goal. We got the Chapter Recognition Award. However, beyond the recognition, what I'm most proud of is the leadership team itself. We built a dedicated, passionate group of individuals who worked tirelessly for the chapter. And even though nearly 2 years after our term ended, we still meet regularly. We go for dinners, we have one-day trip together. We just enjoy so much being together, thinking together. We have to simply enjoy each other's company. So this is strong bond and shared commitment made. I think this is what made all the difference in our success. So the team, which I'm the most proud of. And of course, I can mention that additionally, I'm proud of the successful events we organized, including the 4 major conferences and the various pro bono initiatives that increase the chapter's visibility and credibility within the broader business community. But the most important one is our board, our team. And finally, the last question was, give you some advices, and I collected 4 of them. So what I can advise, what kind of advice can I give you, future ICF leaders? The first one, manage your energy wisely. Leadership roles, especially in a voluntary organization like ICF, can be all-consuming. It's important to manage your time and energy effectively, ensuring that you don't burn out. If you feel your energy waning, don't hesitate to step back, recharge, or even hand over responsibilities to someone with fresh energy, fresh momentum. Maintaining balance, I think this is essential for long-term success. So this was the first one. The next one is set clear and measurable goals. It's important to define no more than 2 or 3 well-structured, measurable goals for the board each year. And these goals should align with the chapter's long-term strategy, and which is also important, be regularly tracked. Having focused objectives, I really believe that it helps keep the team on course and ensures that progress is measurable and consistent. So my third advice is make board positions appealing. Future leaders should strive to make board positions not just a responsibility, but a privilege and an honor. By creating a positive, supportive environment within the leadership team, you can inspire more people to apply for board position. And I believe it should be seen as a prestigious opportunity to contribute to the community and develop ourselves professionally as well. The fourth one, create a strong sense of community. Building a sense of connection and engagement within the chapter, I think it's really, really important. It is a key. Regular events, both professional and social, can help making a vibrant community. Members who feel connected are more likely to get involved, volunteer, and step up to leadership roles, which will, of course, sustain the chapter's course over the long term as well. So these were my 4 advices. And finally, in closing, I want to express my deep admiration for the work. Sorry, I wasn't sure about the pronunciation of this word, but a deep admiration to the work that ICF Ukraine and its leadership have accomplished during these challenging times. I think it's clear for all of us that coaching can make a powerful impact, and especially in those moments of uncertainty and hardship. And I believe the work you are doing is crucial not only for your country, but for the global coaching community. I wish you all the best in selecting your new board, and I'm confident that ICF Ukraine's future is in great hands. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I look forward to staying connected with all of you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
I'm smiling, dear colleagues, when I hear Anett, because I was lucky because I had Anett as a mentor, according a mentoring program in ICF Global that ICF Global provides to every ICF leader chapter. And now it is my turn to share with Ukrainian experience how coaching market is developing and how was it for me personally. I will start from this side. First of all, I would like to say that it's an honor to be the voice of the hundreds of Ukrainian coaches who live, who work 33 months in full-scale work. And I will share in my speech the context in which our colleagues live and work in order to continue to be committed to the coaching profession. With the team, we ensured launch of a new large-scale coaching projects for Ukrainian leaders, the project that were important and needed in Ukraine more than ever. Our challenge was that the board members as well as members of ICF Ukraine chapter were living in different countries, so we worked remotely all this time from different parts of all the world. And mostly we haven't seen in person, never. And it's our challenge and it's our what we created together, this spirit of teamwork, and we never seen each other, you can imagine. My colleagues from the board team lived in Ukraine, Poland, Lithuania. We had a mentor from United States, and now I can declare that Ukrainian coaching has a global presence already. I would like to share what are the challenges of promotion coaching in Ukraine. We have the similar things and we have something different. I believe that the promotion of public opinion regarding coaching, it's a huge journey for every country, globally, locally. And the creation of ICF Ukraine 7 years ago in 2017 had a significant impact on the attitude toward the profession. If 20 years ago the word coaching was incomprehensible, then now there is an understanding, strong understanding that the coach is a profession, that coaching must be studied and there are appropriate professional standards. And at the same time, there is still significant potential for the development and popularization of the profession. In Ukraine, there is still a tendency to call, unfortunately, to call oneself a coach after completing a 3-day program. Reputational challenges and risks encourage ICF Ukraine to be more active and inform that a professional coach has a high-quality coaching education, proven experience, professional certification, and is guided by ethical standards. ICF coaching standards are prevalent in Ukraine. Coaching is quite a new professional direction for Ukraine and is still developing. I see it as a task of the ICF Ukraine leadership team to advocate for the coaching profession. We absolutely understand that the coaching profession needs to be taught in society. We also realize that coaching needs to be developed as a culture. We are interested in working with educational institutions so that coaching as an educational program was taught in universities, the departments of management, pedagogy, psychology, and in business schools, of course. The prospect of making the professional legally recognized depends on the availability of professional coaching training schools, the number of professional coaches on the market, the demand of coaching in business, the efforts of professional associations, and awareness in society of what professional coaching is. This is a long-term task, and ICF Ukraine sees itself as a leader in this process with all our partners, coach and training schools, of course. This is a joint effort of all market participants, and it's a big future journey also. The next point I would like to share what challenges did ICF Ukraine board team overcome with and what helped us achieve our goals. Of course, our greatest challenge is the war and work in war conditions. We had to reduce our lives with our families in new countries or in Ukraine under shelling with blackouts every day, and find time and energy to support ICF Ukraine coaches, to support our clients. We had to find a way to revive, to be resilient, and to reborn, to become an example for the Ukrainian coaches, because we are leaders in ICF. The biggest challenge for the ICF Ukraine board was to manage an organization with more than, please attention, 800 members. But we managed it in the conditions of the difficult legislation in Ukraine. Many thanks to our lawyer who helped in this question. And many thanks to the board members and our committees. It was really incredible teamwork. What else important I would like to share? No coach and training school has stopped working in this war. In Ukraine, the demand for coach and training increased during the war. In times of war, new solutions are needed, and coaching opens the possibility to think differently. Also, I am proud of it. During the war in Ukraine, 5 coaches received the MCC status. It means that coaches choose their profession. Coaches choose to be leaders in their profession. I believe that Ukrainian coaches showed their own heroism in this war, and this is a contribution to the support of Ukrainians to the victory of Ukraine in this war against Russia. I think the understanding that we are walking in a war on our own front and help to show the outstanding results of the ICF Ukraine board work for 2 years. On our own coaching front, we use it as a weapon, a change of thinking, a change of mindset that helps people build a new life who have lost everything. But we definitely know that we show that it's impossible to lose yourself. And it's about the coaching approach. And I always repeat that we are not what happened to us, we are who we choose to be. And it's about coaching. It's about born of new identity from different levels, from personal, organizational, from national level. What outstanding results I'm talking about? I believe it was Ukrainian historic leadership in the ICF community during the war. What results of my work, of our work, we're most proud of? For the first time in the 7 years of ICF Ukraine's work, we received a special mention in the ICF Chapter Recognition Award. According to the results of work 2023, ICF Ukraine is among the 11 most effective chapters in the world, and it's our incredible teamwork. We have created many unique projects, for example, onboarding program for the new ICF Ukraine members on special educational platform with modern technological solutions. We provided strong support to Ukrainian coaches, ICF Ukraine members for professional development. ICF Ukraine develop really great partnerships with other chapters worldwide. An example of such support is supervision support in partnership with ICF Germany. We developed a partnership with ICF Metro DC, with ICF Pittsburgh, with ICF South Florida, with ICF Slovenia, ICF Latvia, ICF Ohio, and others ICF chapters. And we opened this huge opportunity and showed our own example to our global community, how to create partnerships between chapters. I'm really proud the next recognition of the work of ICF Ukraine. Many thanks to the Center of Association Leadership, the power of associations. I'm talking about national program Revive Yourself for 500 Ukrainian leaders during wartime in partnership with the Tech Academy and ICF Foundation. The project showcases the impact of coaching on leadership. And this is the first silver award for the ICF Ukraine. In total, 150 ICF coaches donated more than 1,000 hours of professional coaches. Thank you so much to 70 Ukrainian coaches for your contribution in this program. What else? We are working on the implementation of coaching in education in Ukraine, and we are developing programs to support veterans. I'm proud to be Ukrainian leader and Ukrainian coach. So, finishing my speech, I would like to give some recommendation for the future ICF leaders. I would single out 3 main recommendations. Learn to see the needs of the market and work with the vision. My experience showed that then our actions can have an effect not immediately, but after some period. And I'm expecting that the work what we have done will show the results in several years. The second advice, the second recommendation, to develop local and international partnership and share experience. We need to remember that we are a global community and we need to share our experience. We need to support each other. And the third most important thing, I think, it's not to be afraid of anything in leadership. Nothing is impossible, and we confirmed this. Just be a strong, authentic voice and unite leaders around big goals, bigger than we are. Because coaching helps make the world a better place, and we definitely know it. Coaching helps us to get through the challenges of war and become better versions of ourselves. And I'm really proud to be the voice of Ukrainian coaches, to be a voice of Ukrainian coaching. And my leadership journey is finishing in 1 month, but I'm definitely sure that I will continue my coaching way, because it's my mission in this life. Thank you very much. And I would like to ask you to leave your insights, to leave your comments in our chat. And if someone wants to take a microphone and to share with your thoughts, feel free, do it right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. We are in silence. That means that a lot of insight in everyone, and thanks for inspiring speech. It's about how we live in with our understanding of our future. Thank you for the valuable experience. It was extremely inspiring and heartfelt. Great, thank you. Okay, dear colleagues, we will share with recording of this meeting. I'm looking forward to see you again during our campaign, and in 1 month, ICF Ukraine will have a new board team. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. Big hugs from ICF Ukraine.